Good evening, I'm Ford Atkinson.
And I'm Darianne Ward. First in Fox 26 News at 9, we investigate a nonprofit charity that claims to help battered women.
But from what we've uncovered, it seems the only person benefiting from the charity is the man who runs it.
Randy Wallace joins us with more on this undercover investigation. Good evening, Randy.
Good evening. For Darian, it's called A New Life. You may have seen ads in community newspapers asking for donations. Everything donated is supposed to help victims of domestic violence. But that's not what we caught on hidden camera. Is it a bogus charity? We don't think that you're really giving any donations to battered women. We think you're selling donations. You want to explain this for us?
No, sir, we're not.
For years, Bill Stanley has been asking the public for donations on behalf of a battered women's facility called A New Life. But our hidden cameras caught him selling donated items at an auction and his Northeast Side warehouse.
Thank you. Nice doing business with you.
No problem. No problem.
But there is a problem. Every time we contacted A New Life to give donated items, we were told repeatedly nothing would be sold. It all goes to domestic violence victims.
And when you do with it, you're going to give it to the transmitter lady.
And how do you do this? How do you take things from people, go to an auction and sell them, and not help anybody?
Before you make that statement, you need to know the facts, and you don't know them.
What we do know from our undercover investigation is Stanley sometimes has a difficult time telling the truth. After we called A New Life to make a donation, Stanley showed up telling us he was Bob Johnson, a driver for the charity.
You work there too? I'm just strictly volunteers.
Posing as Bob, he told us he's known Bill Stanley for years.
Bill has 13 apartment complexes that he houses ladies and children in. Yeah. And that's the reason I'm still with him, because what they pick up goes straight to ladies and children.
To hear him tell it, A New Life is currently helping 2,800 battered women and their children. That would make it one of the largest agencies helping battered women in Houston. So what does a woman need to do to take advantage of Stanley's generosity?
She needs either to get a hold of the police, which is the best, or the Houston Women's Center downtown.
Okay.
And
like to get in one of these apartments, what would she need to do? Through the Women's Center? And then they just refer her to A New Life?
But the Houston Area Women's Center strongly denies receiving any referrals or donations.
A New Life does not give any donations to us, no furniture or clothing.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Nothing. New Life gives us nothing.
So who gets all the donations?
It all just goes directly to the women that need it.
We put him to the test. One day last week, we donated this TV and 2 chairs. But the next day, the television was for sale in his warehouse, where our undercover producer bought it from Stanley. Watch him pocket the cash. And we found the chairs a few days later being sold at auction. Later, we confront Stanley about selling our donations.
We donated another TV, and then you sold it to an employee of ours the other day at your warehouse. I mean, Bill, none of this is true. You're not helping any battered women. You're going around and you're telling people that. You're taking these things, you're selling them, and you're putting the money in your pocket. Isn't that what's really going on?
No, sir, that's not what's going on.
But as we'll show you tomorrow night in even more detail, that's exactly what's going on. In fact, we discovered Stanley even took his claims to one of Houston's most popular businessmen, Mattress Mac of Gallery Furniture. What do you see his reaction to our undercover investigation? That's tomorrow night on Fox 26 News at 9.